We have a new medical condition that has started in the UK as a result of the coronavirus. Right. And it's very, very worrying. But it's not affecting everybody, you'll be pleased to know. It only seems to be affecting general practitioners, GPs, doctors in health centres here in the UK, in that what they've been developing over the many months, since, April, when they stopped getting up off their armchairs to open the door, to bring their patients in and to stand there and examine them, look down their ears, look down their throat, things like that. Since they have stopped getting up off their armchairs, air chairs. Well, there might be air chairs. They might be air chairs. Yes, I mean, they can have any chair they want. They can have an air chair. They can have a water chair if they want. There's no reason why a GP can't have a water chair, an air chair, an armchair, any chair they want. But what's happening is they are now developing fat bottom syndrome, FBS for short, fat bottom syndrome, and this is affecting only the GPs in this country. And so, how do you treat fat bottom syndrome that all these GPs are getting? Well, one way would be to be able to perhaps get some exercise, like standing up from their seat and walking over to the door and opening it, and then walking back and sitting down again, and then the patient talks to them about their ears. My ears hurt, doctor. Well, we need to have a look down those ears. So he stands up, gets up off his bottom, and he looks down your left ear, moves aside, looks down your right ear, and then he's got to look down your throat, and he will say ah, and you will go, ah, say ah again, ah, right? That is probably the best way for a doctor, a GP, to lose that weight from their bottoms. Yes, yes, yes. Because if they're doing this continuously, every single day, up off the armchair, walking to the door, opening the door, come in, sit down, Mrs. Nuisance, and then they get up again, and they go over to the bed and they say lie down, and they're examining you, and they're feeling your breast, and they're listening to your heart, to the back, and they raise your leg up, put it down, all that, you see. And then they're going back and they're sitting down, and then they do the prescription on the computer, and then they stand up again. Some don't. Some don't. But ideally, you should get up and then walk the patient to the door, open the door, and then the patient goes out again. And then you sit down again. So it's basically up, down, up, down, up, down. And this is the solution to fat bottom syndrome, which is affecting all GPs. All GPs. It's nobody is exempt from this fat bottom syndrome. It is throughout the United Kingdom. Hospital doctors do not any of them have got fat bottom syndrome. And this is simply because they're on the feet all day, running around. You know those long corridors? They're going up and down, up and down. Doctor, Ward 2. Doctor, Ward 7. Doctor, Ward 6. Doctor, Ward 2. Constantly running about, going from ward to ward to ward to ward. They cannot develop fat bottom syndrome, FBS. No, they can't. It's impossible for a hospital doctor to develop that because they're on the feet all day. All through their shift, they're working nights. They are constantly off their bottoms. So this problem is primarily and solely affecting the GPs of the United Kingdom. And for that reason, my advice would be to get up off your bottoms, doctors. Yes, 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 because your bottoms are going to get bigger, and they've got big now. Remember, this is only October 2020. If you go on like this, doctor, are you listening? You have to take this seriously. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Huge. And all the celebrities will be saying, oh, gosh, look at that bottom. Well, yes, I mean, you could take photographs of your GP's bottom. If you could just say, you could just ask the doctor online, couldn't you? Oh, Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Lazy Bugger. Yes, Dr. Lazy Bugger, could you just turn round? Well, why do you want me to turn round? Just turn round, just for a moment, doctor. And then you could snap and take a photograph of that lazy bugger of a GP that will not see you face to face in the surgery. And you can take a photograph of their fat bottoms, right, and upload it on Facebook, on Twitter, and let everybody see this is my GP. That's all I'm seeing is his backside. I would like to see his face. But, not through a screen. No, I don't want to see him through a screen. I don't want to just hear his voice on the telephone. I actually want to see him. Yes? I would like him to actually touch here, 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 here. We need to feel here, 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 here. Right? You know he needs to do it, but he's in denial and she's in denial. You see? And so this is the way forward for those GPs with fat bottom syndrome. You have to learn and imitate the hospital doctors and run around, see patients, do what you used to do, right? Because this disease is only affecting general practitioners. General practitioners. No, it's not affecting any other part of the population. And this is a fact. There have been clinical studies that this fat bottom syndrome is only affecting the GPs in the United Kingdom. So I hope all those doctors with your fat bottoms will be proactive in getting off your arse, right? Getting off your arse, your fat arse. Stop being so lazy. Stop being so lazy. Stand up and be a man. Be a woman. Be bold. Be fearless. My guinea pig is braver than you are, right? My guinea pig is an animal of prey. She's not a bird of prey. No, she's not a bird of prey. She's an animal of prey. Yeah. And she has got more guts than the GPs in the United Kingdom. Oh, yes, she's got more courage, my guinea pig. But you haven't got any courage. You're just hiding there, sitting on your bottoms, which are getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter, and you're going to be like that with the bottom sticking right out there. Right, you stand up one day and the bottom's gone right out there. Yes, it's right out here. Right out here. Right out here. This is going to be so embarrassing. Have you seen Dr. So-and-so's bottom? No, no, no. But now I've done this video, all doctors will be emailing each other and saying, if a patient asks you to turn round when you're doing an online consultation, don't, because they might take a photograph of your bottom and upload it on Twitter and Facebook. Yes. And this would be very humiliating. I don't care. Do you think I care? No, 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 no. I do want to shame you, Doctor. Yes, I do. I want to shame you. I want to embarrass you. I want you to stop and think about the effect of being such a wimp. You're such a wimp. You're a disgrace to the healing profession that's existed for thousands of years. There have been infectious diseases, boils, and you could catch it if you covered in boils. Just covered in boils. But despite that, brave men and women have gone out to these people, boils, the black death, which if you go near, you'll catch it. But despite that, brave men and women have gone out to visit these people. They cared for them. Cared for them. People have cared for them for centuries, but you haven't, have you? You're just scared. No, yes, you're hiding behind your computer developing a fat bottom, right? Right? While the hospital doctors are doing your work. They don't have fat bottom syndrome. In fact, they're getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. They're becoming so thin, hospital doctors, because they're doing your work as well as the work in the hospital, because all your patients are having to go to hospital as emergencies, because you won't see them, will you? Even though you have an emergency clinic between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., you refuse to examine people. Even when they're in severe pain, you will not look and examine their ears. You won't look in their ears. You won't look in their throat. You won't do anything. You won't do anything. You are a lazy, lazy bugger with a fat arse.